Hi, welcome to the 2020 F1 Belgium Grand Prix qualifying. And to be fair, I have done no notes whatsoever. All I've done on here, the notes I haven't done no notes. I've just put basically where Q1, Q2, Q3 finished. Who went out and who went through. Basically, that's all I've done. And again, I know this is the same thing every week. I know probably true F1 fans I'll probably agree with me. Come on. Who never saw this coming? Who never saw this coming? Hamilton, pole. Bottas, 2. Verstappen, 3. Because this has been the same picture every race. Basically, nearly every race. And tomorrow, do I think it's going to be the same thing tomorrow? Of course it is. Bottas can say in an interview all he wants that I don't care if I got pole. Don't worry about it. I don't care if I ain't got pole. I'll get Lewis on the straight, then on the toe. Yeah, right. So really, Bottas, so you don't really care about pole. So you think, oh yeah, that's it. I'll get second and I'll get Lewis on the toe. You think that's how it's going to play out? You need to watch yourself. You need to watch who's going to be behind you. Max Verstappen. He's the guy who's going to be racing behind you. You don't have to worry about Lewis Hamilton. If Lewis Hamilton gets at that first corner, he's half a second in front of Bottas. If Lewis Hamilton gets in front of Valtteri Bottas by the first turn, by the source, it is over. I don't care if Bottas talks about the toe. I don't care if I get this toe. It's going to make me 20 miles per hour faster. Still not going to make a difference. Lewis Hamilton, if he gets through this first turn, it is game over. Game over. You can talk all you want. Paul di Resta can come out in the news and say, you know what? Max Verstappen is in with the championship. If you think Max Verstappen is in with a shot of winning the championship of 2020, you are delusional. Delusional. Because Max Verstappen, for all the talent that he's got, because he's a talented driver, for all the talent that he's got, he is not going to win the 2020 F1 championship. It's not going to happen. It's going to be Lewis Hamilton. Learn to accept it. That's just the way it is. Lewis, and for second, Valtteri Bottas. Alright, Bottas has gone through a little damp patch now. He needs to accept that he's not going to win the championship and just play along with the game and support Lewis Hamilton. I don't care if people say, oh yeah, it's halfway through the season. It doesn't matter. What's going to change from now to Monza? You got Monza next and you got Imola. What's going to change? Nothing. It's a straight line speed tracks. It favours Mercedes. Bottas just has to sit in line. It's not going to happen. He's Rubens Barrichello. And that's what it is. It was Rubens Barrichello supported Michael Schumacher. And now he's got to support Lewis Hamilton. That's just the way it's going to be. He had his chance. He blew it. He blew it when he tried to push his side in Silverstone and he finished with no points. That was the point of the season where it was all over for Valtteri Bottas. It's all over. And like I said, it's the same old thing, copy and paste. I know it's the same old thing, copy and paste. What do you expect me to say? Oh, Max Verstappen nearly got pole. No. Did Ferrari make it into Q3? No. 2 drivers couldn't even make it into Q3. Now Ferrari has sunk. How far has Ferrari sunk? You got Vettel, can't get into Q3, and now Charles Leclerc. I think this is the first time this season he hasn't got into Q3. They should fire the Ferrari owner. Get rid of him. He's no good. Bring back the old guy that was there before. At least he knew how to get his drivers in shape, how to get him ready for a match. But this guy, Benito, whatever his name is, the curly whirly, he's useless. And I don't care about the mechanics. Nah, forget the mechanics. They're useless as well. The strategy team is useless. And all this is what's happened to Ferrari is because of what happened last season. At the end of the day, Ferrari, they had the dodgy oil, tweaking the engine. They was tweaking the engine, the dodgy oil. They had the straight line speed for Monza. They wanted Ferrari to win Monza, and they paid that. They settled out of court with the FIA. Basically, oh yeah, that's paying them off. Paid off the stewards, the FIA, whatever they done. Paid them off, and look at them now. They got no power, nothing. They've lost the straight line speed. They're probably the 6th fastest car on the grid, and that's a stretch. It's all over for Ferrari. This season is probably one of the worst seasons I've ever witnessed. Ever. Same old shit. Look at all my backdrops. All Lewis Hamilton on the pole. I think there's one picture where Bottas won the race. First race of the season he won. That was it. After that, what? Nothing. It's always Lewis. Don't get me wrong, I'm a Lewis fan. I love Lewis Hamilton, but I want to see some variety, man. This is boring. I didn't even want to watch qualifying. I sat down. I said to my friend, I go, look, we know what's going to happen. It's going to be Lewis Hamilton first, Bottas second, and third, Max Verstappen. Nothing's going to change. Nothing. Look, I even tell you, look at the end. Look, same old people coming out at the end, at the beginning. Q1, Grosjean, Magnussen, out. See you later. Who do you think is going to come out in the first Q1? Always Roman Grosjean. Same old shit. Russell, Magnussen, Grosjean, Antonio, Latifi, Magnussen. It's the same old names. And you think the new regulation is going to change anything? I don't think so. I still think when the new regulations kick in, I think Toto's going to sign a new contract. Hamilton's on the verge. He's probably signed his new contract. They'll come into 2021 and they'll win again. All right, Ferrari might get up there a little bit in 2021. They're going to be new regulations. Obviously, you got McLaren, new engine next year, Mercedes engine. They're gonna gain some time on them, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be the same shit. It's going to be Mercedes on top again. Who is going to beat Mercedes? The only way Max Verstappen is going to win a title in F1 if it goes to Mercedes. He could go to Mercedes. Things might change in a couple of years. He might think, oh, you know what? I'm not going to stand with Red Bull anymore. I'm not going to have Christian Horner in my ear chatting shit to me, saying, oh, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. They are never going to win a title with a Honda engine. It's not 1988 with Ayrton Senna and Frost. This is 2020, and Honda is not going to win no championship. Red Bull is not going to win no championship while they've got a Honda engine. And I know they've got no choice. If they go back to Renault, they're going to be worse. Mercedes ain't going to give them no engine supply. Ferrari ain't going to give them no engine supply. So they're stuck. They need another manufacturer. This is where we need more manufacturers to come into F1. And hopefully the new regulations are going to change that. The new regulations are going to change it where they were going to allow people to come in. Yeah, more engine suppliers to come in. Supply teams like Red Bull with better engines. Bring back the Ford. Bring back the BMW engine. You got Aston Martin coming in next year. Maybe they're gonna mix it up. Aston Martin. We need more engine suppliers in F1 to mix it up. There's not enough engine suppliers because Red Bull is stuck. I know Christian Horner's coming out in the news in a press conference. He's coming in. He's got his driver's press conference. His manufacturer's one, whatever. The team principal one, what comes on Sky, giving him positivity, saying, yeah, Red Bull, we're nearly there, we're nearly there. You're not going to beat Mercedes on strategy alone. It's not going to happen. You can't just sit there and wait for Mercedes to fuck up. For Mercedes, or maybe we're going to have a tyre degradation, or maybe the tyres are going to wear out. Maybe if we stay in the hard, we can try and beat them on a strategy. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. You're not going to win a title like that. It's never going to happen. You have to have the raw straight line speed, and you need the drivers. Albon is not the driver for Red Bull. I'll say it right now. He is not the guy for Red Bull. Take Albon out and bring Gasly back. They shouldn't have even got Gasly. They shouldn't have got rid of Gasly in the first place. They should have gave him at least to the end of the season to prove himself and see what happens then. He was about 5-6 races in and they got rid of him. They should have kept Gasly there, gave him more confidence. And to me, he looked like he got bullied out of that team. He lost his confidence. He went there, nice driver, and he left there, no confidence. He went back to Toro Rosso, and look at him now. Look at him now. Albon is not the guy for Red Bull. I thought at the beginning, you know what, give him time. He's not the guy. That's it, my opinion. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I'm not going to say, oh, man, I'm not going to sit on the fence because I want more subscribers. No. I'm going to tell you how it is, and Albon is not the guy for Red Bull. No. They need to do another swap, a double turn. They need to bring him back to Toro Rosso and have Gasly back into Red Bull. And that's just the way it is. That's all. There's nothing else to talk about. There's not what happened. Nothing happened. The Ferraris flopped. They're out. No chance. Their season is over, and next season is over. They're not going to find more power. Carlos Sainz coming talking to Sky Sports, saying, oh yeah, they're saying, oh, you think you made the right decision going to Ferrari? Oh yeah, I think I made the right decision. No, you never. You never. You got a 2-year contract with Ferrari, and they're not going to get good for another 2 years. So how did you make the right decision? You got McLaren with the Mercedes engine. You're going to have your ex-teammates, which is going to be Lando Norris, your teammate now, but next teammate is going to be driving past you, waving in his car while you're behind him. So you tell me now, how did you make the right decision? Not gonna happen. You have Daniel Ricciardo and you got Lando Norris. That's a nice little team up for next season for McLaren. McLaren is moving forward. Ferrari is moving back, and that's where Ferrari's gonna be. They're gonna be in Lando Norris's mirrors. Trust me, behind him. Now, a lot of things been happening this weekend. You got like Williams. It's a shame for Williams. It is a shame for Williams. One of my favourite teams in F1. Top 3 teams in F1. Frank Williams built that team up with his family. And now they haven't had a pole for so many years, couple of years. I can't remember the last time they got a race win. They finished last season with no points again. Most likely they're going to finish this season with no points. And now one American team has come along now. I'm not going to get into the team. I don't really give a shit about the team who's brought them. I don't really care. All I care about is Williams. And Williams is out. He's going to be gone. All right, they're going to have this. They're still going to keep the same name. Yeah, but it ain't Williams, is it? They're going to have no rights over that team. Once you haven't got no rights over the team, it is over. It's just like me walking to a company. I could walk into a company and goes, right, say the company's called Solo Motors, right? Just say the company's called Sim Racing Motors, okay? I'm Solo. I walk into this place. I go, right, I want to buy your team. I'm still going to keep it the same name. Don't worry about it, but I want control over the company. So they've come in, they've took control over the company, and now they've took control of the company. A year later, they go, right, you know what? We don't want you anymore. We don't want you there no more, Claire Williams. So see you later, you're gone. We don't want you. We're going to put our own engineers in. And there's nothing they can do about it because they've lost control of the team. Claire Williams is coming out and saying, you know what? Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's still Williams. It's good for us. No, it's not good for you because you've lost control over the team. They can sack all of you, bring their own guys in and call it a different name if they wanted to. They say, no, yeah, we'll keep it as Williams. But they may not. They might change the name. They can do what they want. They've seized control. They've got control over the company. They're selling all rights to this American business people. And that's not right. I know they've had bad luck. And it's a shame because Williams is it's a family team. Everything's run Williams. Everything's Williams to the core. It's all in the family. And now the team is going. It's not going to be the same. I don't care if they call it Williams. It's still not Williams to me. It's not the Williams where Frank Williams is there and you had Nigel Mansell and it's the same old, you know, when you're watching the videos and you watch all the archives, You go on the YouTube, you can watch all the old Williams cars, and you will see all that, and you can see how big the history is. They had a documentary DVD what come out last year about the Williams family, and I brought it as soon as it come out, and it was one of the best Formula One. Forget Formula one of the best documentaries I've ever heard. I've ever watched ever. It was a great documentary. It was based on all the Williams family, from the father, how he first built up the company, when he had that accident, and they had his wife on there. Had like video footage of his wife, talking about when Frank Williams is away, what she feels like, and it was like proper in depth. That was probably one of the best documentaries I've ever watched. Never mind Formula One documentaries. I'm about any documentary. And if you're a big Formula One fan, motorsport fan in general, I highly recommend you going out and buying the Williams DVDs about the Williams family. It's absolutely amazing. I'll leave a link below, in the description below, where you can buy the DVD. It's absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend you buying it. Yeah, and that's the Williams, and it's a shame because it's what I knew it was coming. Deep down, I knew it was coming. I thought Haas would have been gone first. To be fair, I thought Haas was definitely going to go first, and maybe then Williams. But I was still wishful thinking that they was going to hang on. But I think when the new regulations, when they got put back to 2021, I think that was it then. That it was curtains. It was curtains. Because they was relying on the 2021 regulations to come next year, because it was supposed to come now, it's going to be 2022. And that would have bring the cost cap down. And it would have helped them out more. But it's come a year later. So it's not going to be 2021, it's going to be 2022. And that was it. That was curtains for Williams then. And it's a shame. And more bad news over the weekend as well. You saw Lewis Hamilton at the end. You can see him in a picture. R.I.P. Black Panther, Chadwick. Chadwick Boseman. It's a shame. The guy, you know what I mean? The guy's 43 years of age. 43 years of age, dying of cancer. I never knew that he had cancer. I don't think anyone knew that he had cancer apart from his loved ones, his close loved ones. He kept that really quiet, but he carried on like a soldier. He kept going. He kept going, doing these great films. He's got a film now on Amazon just come out. Black Panther, one of the most successful films ever in the history of cinema. Never mind Marvel. It's one of the most successful films in cinema. And dying at that age, 43 years of age. 43 years of age, he died. R.I.P. Black Panther. And he saw Lewis Hamilton at the end paying respect to him. Chadwick there. Respect. And that's my respect to him as well. It's a shame. A guy that he was so successful, talented young black man, dying like that. And when I heard that news, when it came up on my Twitter feed, I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked. I was so shocked that he died. You know, you get some celebrities that live to like 80, 90 years of age, and even when they die, you feel like it's, you know, you still feel gutted because you're like some old actors, you grew up watching them, and, you know, as a kid, and then when they finally get to that age and then they die at your old age, you feel gutted because they've died so young. I mean, they've died. Even though they're like 80, they've died. And you think, oh, you know what I mean? I remember when I was a kid. But at 43 years of age, dying, it's a travesty. It is a travesty. But he left a big mark. Chadwick Boseman left a big mark on cinema that he's going to be remembered forever. And it's a shame. And it's a shame. I hope his loved ones... feels over his loved ones, his family, his close family. Yeah, it's a shame. R.I.P. Black Panther. And yeah, and I'm going to go through the standings, how it finished. Let's have a look how it finished. The results. We've got... Hold on. Lewis Hamilton. This is the how it finished. We've got Lewis Hamilton on pole. Tomorrow, second Valtteri Bottas, third Max Verstappen, third Daniel Ricciardo. Third Max Verstappen, fourth Daniel Ricciardo, very good time for him. Fifth place Alexander Albon, sixth place Esteban Ocon on the way back up again. Creamer was rising to the top. 7th place, Carlos Sainz. 8th place, Sergio Perez. 9th place, Lance Stroll. 10th place, Lando Norris. 11th place, Daniel Fiat. 12th place, Pierre Gasly. 13th place, Charles Leclerc. 14th place, Sebastian Vettel. 15th place, George Russell. 16th place, Kimi Räikkönen. 17th place, Roman Grosjean. 18th place, Antonio Giovinazzi. And 19th place, Nicholas Latifi. And last, Kevin Magnussen. And that's the way it ended. And yeah, I'm going to see if we've got any videos, interviews of the pole. Yeah, so we've got the top 3 here. We've got Max Verstappen in third. And we've got Valtteri Bottas. And we've got Lewis Hamilton. So we're going to start with Max Verstappen. We're going to play that now. If there's no adverts.
At Heycar.
Like the rules is. 1 second. Adverts are 10 seconds on. Can't do the advert obviously for copyright. No adverts, but I can have the interviews for you now.
So good.
Hello, Max. That was, I think, closer than any of us thought it was, particularly you in the end.
Well, it's been a positive qualifying in general, I think. It was very close with Valtteri. Maybe, you can be a little bit disappointed, but I don't think we should, because if you look at the gap, of course, between Valtteri and Lewis, it's quite big. So from our side, I think we really maximized the car and pace in general in qualifying. So very, very happy with that.
And of course, the gap is only the gap for qualifying. It can all change around here, particularly in the opening laps, as everybody's so close on that run down, both through Eau Rouge and up that hill into Les Combes.
Yeah, first I hope, of course, to make a good start, and then we'll see. I mean, I'm not thinking about it too much. Just get on with it. See if we can follow or not. I personally don't think so. I think they're a bit too quick, but we'll find out tomorrow.
Hoping for rain?
It doesn't matter, I think, at the end, dry or wet race. When it's a wet race, or at least, maybe from dry to wet or wet to dry, it can spice things up a little bit. But overall, I don't think the end result will change a lot.
Thanks, Max. Good luck.
You got to admire the honesty by Max Verstappen. So honest. He wasn't like that a few years ago. And I think since Austria, when I went to Austria, I think it was the second race out of Austria, I think he just took the turn and goes, you know what, I'm not going to hide it anymore. Mercedes are faster, they got a better unit. He said it in the press conference. He goes, look, it doesn't matter what happens, Mercedes is faster, no excuses. And I admire the honesty. So we've got Valtteri Bottas, who said he thinks starting Belgium Grand Prix in second place can be better than pole.
Hello, Valtteri. Pretty close session out there in the end, but Mercedes dominant again.
Yeah, we were really strong, but all weekend we've seen it's been a bit closer to Red Bull than previous weekends, and it showed today. Max was pretty close, so but still good performance, and actually pretty happy to be second. I know it sounds weird, but here the second place can be sometimes better starting place than the first, so that's good.
So many chances, you say, sort of on that opening lap through those first few corners. How do you think, though, your car will be, regardless of what weather turns up tomorrow? Chance of rain? Are you in that right window?
Yeah, if the weather is going to play a part, even in the dry, I'm sure the race is going to be quite interesting and strategically pretty important to get things right, as the top 3 cars are on the same tire. But here there will be always opportunities, and if the weather brings more, happy days. But yeah, for me, how to win the race, that's the only thing that is already on my mind. So, of course, the first opportunity is turn 1 or even better into turn 5.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
So Bottas has been having his porridge. Probably having his porridge. You can have more porridge in the morning. Been having his porridge tonight because he's thinking that, all right, and look, if you're not going into the Formula 1 race and thinking you're not going to win, you're not supposed to be there. He's thinking he's still going to win. He thinks he's going to get the toe of Hamilton. I think different. Hamilton's got half a second over him. And him going out there and saying, oh, I still think I can win it and get the toe or whatever from second place. You know what I mean? Hamilton's going to pull off. You know what Bottas' starts like this year. You know what the starts have been like. If Hamilton gets a good start, there's going to be no toe. That's just my opinion. This is Lewis Hamilton. Pays tribute to incredible Chadwick Boseman after taking Belgian pole. And by the way, before we get to the interview, Paul di Resta. You got Hamilton when he finishes, got pole. He went to Paul di Resta, and as always, Paul di Resta most of the time doing the interviews. I prefer when Martin Brundle does them, even Johnny Herbert, anyone but Paul di Resta. Paul the rest are standing there. You got Lewis Hamilton saying, look, I'm paying tribute to my friend. This is for my friend Chadwick Boseman. And what did Paul the rest say? Nah, it's really more for you. I've got the video on here. If you go on my Twitter feed, right, I'll put it on my Twitter feed of the recording of Paul the Rester. So this is, Hamilton said, this is for my friend, paying tribute to him, everything for him. And there's Paul the Rester. Nah, this is more for you, really. Completely dismissed what Hamilton said to him. Completely dismissed. Because this guy has got no personality. None. All he knows about is cars. If you see anyone on the Sky Sports grid, if you see Johnny Herbert having a good time, you see Ted Kravitz, Martin Brundle all cracking a joke, and then you got Paul the Rester standing there. He can't join in with the jokes because he has no personality. None. No tact. No nothing. I don't know why Sky Sports are still employing this jerk. A complete and utter moron. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. He's a moron. He was failed as a driver. Failed. And now he's a failed commentator. And then you got him yesterday when I was talking to him. You had him there, and they said to Sky Sports said, "Oh, who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to get pole tomorrow?" This was yesterday before the qualifying. They said to Carew said it's going to be Hamilton. Carew says because it's going to be Hamilton. And they asked Paul the Rester, who do you think's going to get pole? And he goes, "Oh, I'm going to say something different this week. I'm going to go for Max." Every single week he thinks Max is going to get pole, and he stands there and goes, "You know what? I think I'm going to go for something different now. I'm going to go for Max." To get this jerk off my TV. Jerk off. This is Lewis Hamilton.
At Hey Car, we have...
Of course, adverts. See if we can get the onboard poll up.
Lewis, an absolutely sensational lap. What's more, without a toe, and an incredible, very poignant, very meaningful tribute.
Yeah, today, I feel incredibly blessed to be on the front row, being on pole today, have the opportunity on a day like this, and the laps were really, really good. You can't see my face, but the laps were pretty spot on, perfect. Such an incredible track here, but I don't need to go really too much back into it, but it woke up this morning to the worst news, and it's such a hard year, I feel privileged that today I could perhaps shine some light onto an incredible legend and inspiring individual, and I got a clean lap. I decided to be at the front. Toes there's a little bit maybe in it, but then you could easily lose just as much through the middle sector. So, as I said, some people could make mistakes and you got a yellow flag or whatever it means. So I just took all those questions out of the way, and I just got out there clean ahead and just relied on doing the job with the car.
If I can, just on Chadwick very, very quickly, somebody that you met, obviously, and that you knew, and in a year of such important for black empowerment, somebody who portrayed so many incredible black heroes, from not just Black Panther, but Jackie Robinson, James Brown, and who I guess in turn himself became a black hero himself, somebody who struggled for the last 4 years completely privately with everything he was going through.
Yeah, well, he was doing movies whilst fighting for this in silence. When I met him, he would have had cancer, and what a humble man he was. And yes, portraying some of the, these incredibly iconic black figures. And I don't know, I was just talking about the underrepresentation, and I think it's really so important to see those things. For me, I dreamed of, Superman was everything for me as a kid. I just loved his values and what he stood for. But as a young black boy, I didn't have a superhero to look up to who was the same color as me, and as soon as he came on the scene, it was such a proud moment, I think, and so I was so grateful. And watching that movie was, I think it did so much for the black community, for the world, and I'm super grateful for it. And yeah, it definitely, the good die young. Unfortunately, he's only 43. But yeah, my prayers and thoughts are with him and his family.
You see, that's how you give an interview. Will Buxton, not the biggest fan of Will Buxton. Never have. He does his job though. Good speaker. That's why you give a good interview. Will Buxton is the one who pointed out to Lewis Hamilton on the note of the Black Panther. He says, look, he's done a lot for black actors. He was a young black actor. He fought the fort and he got famous and he was inspired to young black kids. And look, and that's how you give an interview. And you could see by Lewis Hamilton's body language that he's happy that he acknowledged it. But not Paul the Rester. He is clueless. Clueless. And when this video finishes, I've got the footage on my phone. I'm going to put the audio by my speaker so you can hear it. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys in a minute. This is the review of the 2020 F1 Belgium Grand Prix qualifying. I'm going to lose the camera and I'm going to play the footage so you can hear the footage from the interview I heard after the race. Because Paul the Rester is clueless. Go back to Monaco and do one. Come off my TV. See you later. Solo P1. See you tomorrow for the race day. I'm going to pause this now. And I'm going to play the footage.
You were just out there front, very confident.
I woke up to like the saddest news of Chadwick passing away, and it's been such a heavy year, I think, for all of us, and that news just really broke me. So it was really not easy to get back in focus coming in today with that kind of hanging on my heart. But I was like, I want to go out there and drive to perfection, because what he's done for our people and for what he's done for this superhero shows all these young kids that it's possible. He was such a shining light, so we'll come there forever.
I think the greatest respect was your focus, Lewis, because everyone else was looking for toes. You were just out there front, very confident in the job that you had to do.
Clueless. Clueless. I'll play it again.
I woke up, that news just really broke me. So it was really not easy to get back in focus coming in today with that kind of hanging on my heart. But I was like, I want to go out there and drive to perfection, because what he's done for our people and for what he's done for this superhero shows all these young kids that it's possible. He was such a shining light, so we'll come there forever.
I think the greatest respect was your focus, Lewis, because everyone else was looking for toes. You were just out there front, very confident in the job that you had to do.
Clueless.